watching the Star We Are. Always, always, always.
Tell them.
Always, always, always fan responsibly. How
How
about
them
them
Cowboys?
Cowboys?
Let's go.
I'm a fan of the star we are.
What's up, everybody? I'm Super Cowboy.
And I'm Princess Angie, and you are tuned in to The Star We Are.
Hi, this is Jane Slater, and you are listening to The Star We Are.
Plugged in and switched on. This is The Star We Are, live.
Heyo.
Yeah, we're back. We're back.
Happy Thursday!
Welcome, everybody.
Yeah, that was an awesome way to start the show. Woo-hoo.
It was fun. So it was a good welcome to our youth edition. This is a youth episode, a youth version of The Star We Are Live. Today we'll be talking about some youngsters in the episode. So, and my little girl had been saying, "Hey, Dad, I want to be on this show." So she, you know what? Introduce us, get us kicked off today. And so I think that worked. She was a little nervous. We're always a little nervous. We know how it is.
Just a little.
So let's get right into it.
Yes, if you guys are new here, welcome. But hopefully you always come back and you'll never forget who we are, because we are The Star We Are. I am Slam and Sammy.
I am Landry's Legend.
I'm your man, Jimmy J's here. We got another great show today. I think it's going to be fun. We've got some good topics. We won't waste any of your time because we know it's precious, and we thank you so much for spending it with us. So, game plan. We got to kick it off. We got to kick the show off. We'll toss it around. Y'all let us know in the comments right now. Let's kick this thing off. How you doing? How's your week? Sam, how you been?
Life is life, but life is life, but OTAs is happening. We're getting closer and closer to football. I think this last Sunday, 15 Sundays to go, and I just can't believe it.
Down like that, it sounds right around the corner. Landry, how's your week?
Spectacular. A lot more work going on, going into this show. So spending a lot of time in this show. And then I guess maybe one thing that's not packed into this show that I'll throw out there. What was that? Yesterday? 2 days ago? Got that GP, comment on you pointing out that someone claimed GP was, anybody who leaves Pittsburgh is washed up. You can check it out on X.
Yeah, so we actually had a post, and let us know. Can you guys hear? Somebody in the comments may have said they can't hear Jimmy. I think we might be good now. If there was an issue, do let us know again in the comments. Thank you for stopping by. But yeah, no, we did. George Pickens himself. We made a post. It was some streamer, YouTuber, I don't know, and he was like, once Pittsburgh lets go of a wide receiver, they suck. So I'm not worried about George Pickens. And I made a post about it, from the Star We Are, just saying this guy thinks George Pickens sucks just because the Steelers cut him. It was like a trade for a third-round pick. And I was like, what about the film? And then so George Pickens actually commented on our post and was like, this guy's a clown. So everybody was excited to see that and pumped up about it. And he is. And
I love the energy.
Me too. That spice is so spicy. I'm so excited. Sorry, I am so hyped today. I cannot help it.
That's good. That guy's a clown. DBs are going to look like clowns trying to guard him. Of course, we just kicked it off. And so the first segment of the show, of the game plan, will be Sammy Says It All. She's going to give us the news, a little, updated graphic, a new little layout for her. So we'll get the news today, find out what's going on in the sports world and in the Cowboys world. And then we'll look over the mountain of youth. What's that, Jimmy? Well, it's not the fountain of youth. It's the mountain of youth where we're going to rank our 26 and under players because we got a lot of them. We're one of the younger teams in the NFL.
Mountain of youth talent. That's it.
That is so nice.
Right. So we're going to tear the mountain up and then we're going to take a look at some little Cowboys because, like I said, this is a youth show. We've got the mountain of youth. We're going to travel back in time. We're going to take a look at some pictures of some younger Cowboys, some younger players, and maybe see if you guys can guess who they are. Stick around, see if you can recognize these baby faces, okay? And then we'll have a halftime. We got to blow the whistle and kick it off, or take a break, get some refreshments, grab some snacks, and after half, take a look at what piece of the puzzle might be important. We've each got one. Maybe you've got one. What piece of the puzzle is going to help the Cowboys get over the hump this season? We'll find out. Stick around. Coaching the fans is back in a good and a fun way, obviously in a youthful way, right? It's a youth edition, so stick around. Maybe we'll be able to make fun of some kids because we all know that's fun. Right? You got a kid, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you're a parent, if you ever lie and say you ain't made fun of your child. Anyway, and then, of course, we'll give you all the Star We Are updates and find out what's new and what's happening. And then maybe, I don't know, Sam, let's go right now for the 2-minute spiel. No, I'm just
I was ready.
Okay.
Okay. All right. You ready?
Yeah,
ready?
Okay. Okay. Ty. What is this? I don't even... I'll do it.
Yeah.
I don't even know what a thumbs up is. Okay. This. Well, guys, it wouldn't. This is live. Okay, so don't judge. Anyway, this is fun. All right. Well, so I'll do the 2-minute spiel today. We'll let Sam make it, and it's going to be a fun show. So let's get right into it. I think without further ado, she's probably got some updates. She's probably got some things that I want to find out. I know you guys want to find out. It's where I get my news. So send me with the news, ladies and gentlemen.
Yay! Here we are. It is Thursday. We are so back. Well, not officially, but we're finally getting things started. I was excited to look in and kind of check and see how OTAs have been doing. You know, you've seen some rumors flying around, and I kind of wanted to check into some of them. Starting with the Cowboys, of course, the most important in the whole league. Per Nick Harris, this was an informational tweet I got from him, and I figured I'd steal some details in there that I thought were pretty worth sharing with the world if they hadn't seen already. For Dak Prescott, he said he's looking really good. Said he's flashing his mobility, which kind of makes me excited, but I know we're going to be easy with him just coming back. But he also did say, I mean, I know it's early, we're in week 2, but he did say that he does not look fresh off of a hamstring injury. He was 14 for 18 in passing today with 2 drops to CD and then one drop to CD and 1 to Luke Schoonmaker. Sorry, I didn't want to confuse that there. And then Miles Sanders, I have been curious about him since the beginning, so it's kind of nice to see. He did work with the first team today, so him and Javonte Williams were working alongside with the first team. He did have 2 completions, currently has a spring in his step and is a fluid runner, so can't wait to see what he's looking to give us to work with there. For Jadon Blue, not a lot of details were released, but he did have some kickoff return burn. So I guess we'll see what's next to come with that. He said Sam Williams was active with the rehab group. He's looking really good. He said he's pretty sure he's close. So I'm looking forward to the Sam Williams return. Kind of some other teams around the league, some notable things I like to think about or like to know about. CMC is back in action. Kyle Shanahan actually said he's as healthy as he can be. He's moving, running, and cutting at full speed. So we'll see what he's back with next season. So Shoddy is tweaking things with Dak and Joe Milton. They're saying it's not just Joe Milton. He has some things he's working on with Dak for. Dak's already great, so I can't see what Shoddy's doing to make Dak greater. One thing I didn't like, not necessarily, I know it's voluntary OTAs, but as of, 5 hours ago when I seen it, 7 hours ago now, Shoddy said he has not seen Micah Parsons in voluntary OTAs. Hopefully it's just because voluntary, doing his own training, not going to think anything of it, just wanted to kind of put it in the air. Talking about some other teams not being there, or other players not being there for OTAs, Stephon Diggs went viral for a very wrong reason. I myself am not happy because I hope he's making good decisions out there, being seen partying, making some questionable choices, but he was not at OTAs. But regardless of what everybody says, he was on the side working with his own personal trainer doing some rehab. And Mike Vrabel is aware of what's going on and says what happens stays between him and his player. He's not going to release everything out. Terry McLaurin has not been present at OTAs. There's a lot of drama with extensions for him going on. God, it's so good to be able to have a mouthful of football to talk about now. But that's actually it for my mouthful of football. So let me get on with that. I have a couple more things for you. I'll cut it real quick. Dallas Stars tonight, Game 5 versus the Oilers. This game is the make it or break it for Dallas, whether they get to either play tonight's game and be 3-2 for the Stars. I believe if they win this game, they get one more chance to beat the Oilers, or two more. Sorry, to beat the Oilers to be able to go to the Stanley Cup. So fingers crossed, Stars get it together. It has not been pretty, but I'm hoping for them. The Panthers, on the other side of that, are going to the Stanley Cup. So whoever wins is playing the Panthers. NBA, Oklahoma City. I was so excited writing this down. Brought the Thunder and the Lightning against the Timberwolves, winning their series 4-1. Pacers played the Knicks tonight. Right now they are 3-1 against the Wicks. The Knicks, the Wicks. If they win tonight, they go on to the championship. So we'll see what happens there. Now that is all I have for you around the sports world.
And I apologize. I didn't mean to cut you off. It's just like I thought you were wrapping it up, so I tried to time it right.
No, yeah, you're good. I realized I said that kind of funny, and I was like, wait, I actually did some other research.
Yeah, you said it as if now that there's enough football to talk about, I can cut the rest of the sports news and we'll just get on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, I was so excited, and then I read in my notes and realized that I still had two other things. Whoops.
Well, per usual, killed it with the news. Good stuff. Glad to, basketball is getting heated, fixing to have some finals upon us. Pulling for the Stars, man. They need it.
Edmonton is
in a row in this conference finals, and just can't get
Edmonton
out of
is pretty talented.
Yeah,
ooh, that is not a joke.
That's pretty good stuff. Go ahead, Coach.
I just think I think we got a fun segment coming up. That's all I'm saying.
Ooh,
I've been waiting for this one.
No, we've got a great one. It is called. If you want to bring it in, let's go ahead and get it going, guys. We've got to take a look at our mountain of youth. Okay, what does that mean? Age 26 years or less. Okay, that's Mount Shasta. Just in case you guys didn't know, that's one of Coach's favorite mountains. It's a beautiful mountain. It's a real one. Okay, and it's some real stuff we got to talk about right now on our real
so
mountain.
Funny.
Because we do have, because we went from Coach and I were talking about it. We went from just a couple of years ago, not too long ago. We were an older team. Think about Tyron Smith. Think about Zach Martin. Think about DeMarcus Lawrence. Right. Think about some of these guys that were veterans that added some age to our football team. And now you look around, and a 31-year-old Dak Prescott is one of your older players.
Ooh.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, so actually, real quick, today I seen a picture of Tony Romo and Des Bryant at OTAs, and it said 15 years ago, and I was like, holy moly. Sorry, you said
no. There are times, well, time flies, and you're not on. This youth thing doesn't last for very long. We're talking about mostly players, unless they joined the league when they were very young, who are basically on their rookie contracts, or maybe just got there first. I think the NFL considers veterans 3 years, but these guys are basically not even into their prime yet for the most part. Yeah. So one thing, Coach, I did not end up making the final graphic that gave the list of other players under 26 who we didn't put on the mountain tier, who haven't started their climb yet, I guess, so to say. I don't have that paper in front of me. Anybody know?
It's going to be some rookies like Tommy Aking Basoto. It's some guys like that. Obviously, some rookies are going to
other rookies, yeah.
And
other rookies we didn't put at the base of the list, yeah.
Yeah, and then some guys that may have actually been on this team for a couple years, but they just really haven't hit the field, right? They've either been kind of practice squad, maybe got elevated up because of injury, and then moved right back down once that player was healed. So they just really never saw the field. So, if you're borderline practice squad trying to make the 52 by the end of the year, you've kind of you're still over on training camp, not base camp, right? And so base camp is where we're going to start the mountain, and that's going to be these guys right here.
All right, Sam. Now,
easy.
Me and Coach did do some back and forth, some individual voting and so forth on trying to put this list. This is basically our list, and it's the first time you're seeing it, so you get to have any comments, debates, questions, remarks.
Okay. Well, I mean, can I see the list again, please? Let me read through it again.
Anytime you need to see the list.
Okay. Ooh,
You're looking at it, Sam. Look over the names there, and I'll just let you and everybody in chat know, and anybody who watches. So what we're doing here is we're kind of just ranking it talent, right? And so what this bottom tier means, it means, look, you're in the NFL. We're not disrespecting any of these guys. We're not even disrespecting the names that are on that 6th tier that are at training camp. You're in the NFL. All right. So, but there's levels to things. There's levels to being a chef, right? Some people are good chefs. Some people are just chefs. Okay. So there's levels to things. So, but they're all very talented. But the levels to it, obviously, you got your Mozzie Smiths on this list. Haven't proven yourself yet, but you've been here. You got your Joe Miltons, just got drafted last year, hadn't seen much playing time.
I mean, I'll say I personally argue for Sam Williams. I mean, when we look at the next tier, we can really start debating between the two. But I personally argued for Sam Williams. I think but maybe that's just based. He's got the whole year missed. So if you take that one away, he's there with 2nd-year guys like Tyler Guyton who are down there and Marshawn Nealon. So.
Oh, okay. So yeah, the only other ones I was questioning. I mean, Nealon. Yeah, like I don't know. Yeah, he's proven himself. I feel like I can see why he's tier 1. But me and myself, or wait, is he tier 5? Tier 5.
It's the first tier that's on the mountain, but yeah, you got it.
Yeah. So tier 5, tier 4 maybe, but I have Nealon, Sam Williams, and Marquise Bell. Marquise Bell is my only one, probably tier 5, but I want to see who's next.
Sounds like you're saying you would have possibly left Marquise Bell off the mountain or moved him up one. Let's take a look at the next tier.
Yeah, let me see.
Yeah, Coach, well, actually, because real quick, if you'll bring, and sorry, just a little foreshadowing, they'll bring 5 back for me if you would, real quick, just the names. Because for me, if I did have to move anybody up or down, like I'm with you guys, I would like to move Sam up, but we're talking about 8 sacks in 2 years. In 32 games, 33 games, whatever it is, only 8 combined sacks. When you're on a defensive line with Micah Parsons, guys just get sacks. That tends to happen, right? We've seen it with Chauncey Golston and the Dante Fowlers of the world, things like that. So that's why I couldn't put him up. One guy who I think could go, I'm with you, Sam, Marshawn, right? Without the injury last year, he probably does make the next tier here. But yeah, let's go ahead. I'm happy with the list. I think so. And like I said, it's no disrespect. It's just when you're at tier 4, these guys are, look, I've earned my job. I start in the NFL. I got paid to do this. I got an extension. I got, you know what I mean? This means I'm not necessarily a guy that's fixing to fall to a practice squad like maybe a couple people on tier 5. Tier 5 has a chance to become 4s or even go to the practice squad, right? Whereas tier 4s have a chance to elevate maybe all the way to 2s. But also could fall down to 5s.
Okay.
So what do you see here on this list, Sam? And if
I know it's tough. I know it's tough that we've got there's 2 rookies.
Rookies.
On that list.
That's the only one I'm kind of like, but they were top class rookies for a reason. High
value picks. Both of them had potential first round. Donovan Ezraku could have been drafted in the first round for sure this draft, and Siobhan Revel probably would have if not for the injury.
Right.
So they're first class talent, rookies and or first round talent. So it's tough. And the 16.5 sacks from Ezraku, that's a lot of tape that tells me he's going to be productive in the NFL.
Right. Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Look at Wanye climbing. I would say climbing up the mountain. We didn't make one of these last year, but he'd be up a tier for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wanye to me is almost a 3 guy. He has no chance of being in the NFL as long as he's healthy of going below this tier, right? He only has a chance of going up to me. It's just a good football player you want around. So bring up the names here,
Coach. And again, not an NFL tier, just a tier against our own team. By the way, Brock Hoffman, too many quality starts. That's why he has to end up there.
I understand, but for me, so it's Jake Ferguson here, right? That's the one where I was really torn. I wanted to get him away from the Jalen Tolbert, Brock Hoffman, and the Kenneth Juniors of the world, and get him up into tier 3 because he's I don't know if I just had to put a quick number on it. 17th best, 15th, maybe even as good as 13th best tight end in the NFL. So that's kind of making tier 3 for me,
You want to see tier 3 and compare?
Okay.
Ooh. Oh, Tyler Booker there. I like it, but it's but ooh. I
And
don't
it's
know.
because the 12th overall pick, right? It's because of the raw talent. It's because it's almost like this. It's like some of the guys you see on tier 4 are going to be like possibly fighting
Probably,
for more snaps, whereas Tyler Booker
and
got
one
that
and
advantage immediately.
one or
You're
two
right,
of them,
starting right guard.
yeah, one or two of them may be a full on starter. Ezra may literally, kind of take over at the other side. That's possible, but Tyler Booker's going to, and not just on our team, but on most teams that would have drafted him. Almost every team, go straight in and take somebody's job as a rookie. So yeah, we're giving him benefit of the doubt on that. I'm looking at, and I know we love the guy, but I'm still looking at right there in the center, literally, no pun intended. But the center and Jake Ferguson on that lower level that you were just arguing.
You want to switch him?
I almost feel like I feel like that almost could be a swamp. It's there's some players up there. The other guys up there, there's no Pro Bowlers, I guess.
If I may
bunch of potential Pro Bowlers.
If I may fight for not switching them,
maybe Deron did. Deron Bland make the Pro Bowl the year at 5.
See, I was kind of thinking Deron, but I don't. Man, he has that elite skill. I just
he's
more.
Supposed to be there to me.
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna need more to get above this for sure.
Right.
You are, but real quick before we move to tier 2, I've got to say I understand the knock on BB, but let me just fight for him for a second. The same way Jake Ferguson starting tight end, and I want to fight to get him to 3. BB's got to make 3 because starting in the NFL at center, man, that's hard work. We're talking about hard duties. And the defensive lines that he faced, Washington was in the top 10. Eagles were the best. Like he faced them all year long. Times.
You're done already. If I'm saying our first round pick at guard, it starts on most teams, and he hasn't yet, and I've got him there. You're talking about a guy who's a third round pick who did it for a year already.
Yeah,
and and is going to resume his job doing it. So there's every argument.
We just need our left tackle down there on tier 5 to move up to 4-3 this year. Anyway. Anyway,
that's right. Yeah.
Moving on. Real quick, I've got it just because I want to get a guess here. Sam, it's obviously the whole point of this mountain is Mountain of Youth, 26 or under. Who's on tier 2?
Okay.
Sam.
Micah and CD. I don't know their ages. Am I missing somebody?
And maybe you may be surprised. Yeah, you may be surprised.
Who am I missing? I feel like
there are 4 people on tier 2.
Oh, I forgot. Okay, there too. Wait a minute.
She said, "Wait a minute here."
No, this is the best part.
This is. But okay, are you just?
I gotta hear. Go.
Trayvon Diggs is based on overall experience, right? Like this is based on his overall career because I feel like we're missing some people. And Brandon Aubrey, I love him.
Mm-hmm.
But he should be 30. He looks like he should be 30. He looks like a dad. Okay, I don't think you know what I mean, but that's it. I mean, the other one, I think that's good. As long as Trayvon is based off of everything. And I know he's good. But last season was not Trayvon Diggs.
We do have to pause there. I'm not sure where that oversight came from. That must be just from me thinking that he's played for us for 2 years old. Brandon Aubrey is 30 years old. So that's going to be a correction.
Okay. Oh, wow. I'm good. 30 knows 30, I guess. Just kidding. I'm not there yet. I ain't there yet. Don't let me lie.
Me either, chat. Me either.
Right. So, all right. So, and that's fine. So, Brandon's not supposed to be there. He actually is over the age limit. He'd be there in terms of where he's at. That's funny, too, because I never even considered his age like that. I was just arguing with Coach. He should be at the top. Like, if you're the best at your position, he can't go play another position. He's the best kicker. He should be there. But anyways, 30 years old.
And isn't Trayvon 28 too? I thought Trayvon was.
No, Trey's going to be underage there.
Okay.
I got to double check because now that we've got 30.
No. Again, no. We should have it in front of us. Yeah, but I figured he's 26.
Oh, he's borderline. Okay.
Oh, and for sure, these guys who are up at the top here, they are 26, but still to be this far along in their careers, you're talking about some all pros and stuff.
Okay.
Brandon Aubrey is just a professional mountain climber. And Deron
Mhm.
Bland got too high up the mountain, and he saw that football in his hand. He was like, "I'm going to sneak up and kick." He doesn't actually belong on this mountain. No, I'm just kidding. What were you going to say, Sam?
Okay, so my only question is if CD Lamb is tier 2, who's tier 1?
Well, speaking of tier 1, there is only one.
Yeah, there's only one. What do you mean?
The myth, the Micah.
Okay. Oh, okay. Micah over CD is under.
Okay, you see, you
Coach,
fight
go
with
ahead and give
that?
your argument on that one, on why why
Like-
Micah had to stand alone.
He's a one-man wolf pack. Why
Coach,
did
did
he
you hear me?
Oh, my argument on why
Yeah,
he stands.
right. Because I mean, you were the one as we were doing this where you're like, no, he's got to be on his complete. He's it's still different than what the other guys are near the top of their position. And like you said,
So here's the thing, Sam. I know you're going to fight for CD to be up there, and he's elite, right? He's one of the top. You can argue 10, you can say 7. A lot of people will argue 3, 4, 5. You know, put in the top 5. CD's a dominant receiver. I know Micah can be argued with the Myles Garrett's and the TJ Watts and so on and so forth of the world. But when you look at the pass win rate, I mean the pass rush win rate, he's on his own tier. He's on a Hall of Fame like trajectory, like Lawrence Taylor, standalone, all by yourself tier. And so here's my argument. There's usually about 15 guys in the league at a time where you're like, there's good football players. This person's different. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Saquon Barkley, Jalen Ramsey in his prime, right? Justin Jefferson, the obvious best wide receiver, right? Like, just CD's good. Justin Jefferson, the obvious best one. Fred Warner, the obvious best linebackers. Your Ray Lewis's, your the you know what I mean? Those guys.
You know him, yeah.
Those guys. Micah Parsons is one of the 15 to 20 best football players in the game of football. So that's kind of why I don't know if I can necessarily get CD there. I see on this team as both being right there at the top of the mountain, but as far as like overall talent mountain,
and he's definitely 26 because he just turned it the other day.
He did. Oh wait, hold up. Do we still have birthday music? Happy birthday, Micah Parsons.
Woo!
Happy birthday, Micah. No, we won't do those songs.
Okay, so can I put my side here a little bit?
Go.
Okay, so I'm not saying I disagree. I mean, obviously, I feel like Micah kind of carries us defensive wise, except for for the most part. But then again, like, yeah, okay, I feel like our defense is more strength in numbers. Because they work together a lot more. I know Micah's Micah, but then you think about our offense last season and our receiver group, like CD kind of carried us. Like he kind of did it solo. Not solo, but I mean, you know what I mean? Like he took an offense and made it his.
The last I think with no run game and no real partner on the other side of him.
And a backup quarterback.
Yes.
Right.
I get it.
But
Here's where I think Jimmy is though. There is a summit, there is an apex to a mountain, and if you're only going to put one player there, are you saying CD Lamb's the best player on the team? I almost want to hear
our quarterback was 26 years old. He's not going on that mountain with Micah. He's not going on. If Dak was,
I don't think so.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of like that. It's like that's not that CD doesn't belong on the same tier as Micah on this football team. Dak does too, right? The leaders do. But it's when we're just talking about strictly talent, and you were putting it like drafting people, like just picture it as a draft board. Micah's way up higher on draft boards than CD Lamb.
Okay.
That's kind of how we looked at it. But you're not wrong in arguing for CD to be an apex predator because he is, and with no run game.
Okay.
Yeah, he has carried us.
I knew that was going to run long, and it has way long.
Sorry.
So I knew it would, but we've got to move on to the next segment.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Now look,
youngsters.
This is a culmination of scouring the internet for these photos, and I thought the first few were hard to find, and then we had some help. People dug a little deeper, so this ought to be fun. Sam, who's that?
Y'all guess along with us in the comments. Who is this, Sam?
I don't know.
Any
But-
guess?
They're all
Obviously,
current
player on our
Cowboys.
team.
We're talking about
Sam
current
Williams.
Cowboys.
Okay.
What? I see it now, but I could not see it beforehand. Like I don't know.
That's kind of in the mouth. Who's this little man?
I have no idea who that is.
Really?
No, that's sarcasm. That was sarcasm. I knew immediately who
Okay.
that was.
Little Butters.
Okay. Yeah, that photo. I think that photo may have circulated last year.
With the Cowboys jersey on, the irony, right? So crazy.
Is that Micah?
That's
Michael
Mike?
Parsons.
job. Look, I didn't when Coach showed me the picture. I was like, "That's not Micah. That's like Tyler Smith, right?" He's like,
It looks like him. The harder you stare. Is that Izzy? That's not Izzy. Is that Izzy?
That's probably a decent
That's
guess.
Tyler Booker.
A difficult one.
Oh.
Difficult one on the guys who grew up to be huge, And
"No joke."
and again, we have what we have on photos. That's a half shadow.
Right.
You're having to do
Coach
some of that. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I actually looked into this photo. He's only 5 there, so
He's 5. I was gonna say, oh my gosh. Woo! Okay.
no, but he's grown into a monster today, so that's a good thing. Who
It's
got another
accurate.
one?
That's all right. Here you go, Sam. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it.
Oh, we got a little clue on this one. It's got
Yeah.
got some
Is
visual
it a rookie?
Yes,
is?
it's a rookie.
Is it easy?
It is easy. And look, even better. I believe we were looking at Easy's literal birthday photo. I believe this is it's labeled
He's
up there
so
like it came from a
happy.
hospital or something like that.
Yeah, it's got his birth date in there. Yeah.
You can see the head not even fully. That's the first day pick, I
So
think.
cute.
But that's
So now
actually
you guys
really.
know if anybody ever asks you, man, I wonder, that defensive end Donovan Ezra-Rocket for the Cowboys. I wonder how much he weighed when he was born. You can
9
5'6".
pounds 6 ounces. Don't ask me
Just
how
add-
I know. I just know this.
just know it.
Ooh, that's
Uh-oh.
blurry.
Listen,
Who's
guys,
this little pimp?
This is this is blurry, but this is who would this be though? This is a slick guy though in this suit.
That's
In this all
CD.
white suited.
Oh,
Those eyes, and just those ears. I feel like as a person with ears that stick out to another person with ears that stick out. Guys, that's why I'm always covering my ears. If you ever notice, my ears are covered.
me
Okay.
too.
These very difficult ones. These may have to be just stabs. Who knows? Playing for the Cowboys though, we got another one. And playing for the Cowboys in youth football. This is a running back.
I don't know. Is it Devontae?
It is Javonte Williams. One small hint, she gets Javonte. That's pretty good.
Producing the hints. Yeah, not the hint every couple seconds. All right. I think we got a couple more.
This is a great photo.
Oh, this is
looking like he's at the book fair.
Who is that? I know
No,
it,
those are
but
birthday. Those are birthday cards. Look for your birthday nephew. Hey, they're 11-year-old.
It's his birthday cards.
It's an 11-year-old
It's his
birthday.
11th birthday. This is a
Who
photo on
is
his 11th birthday. This is another player who was just added to the team this year, but not a rookie.
There you go. There's a hint. Just added in this.
Is it Miles Sanders? No,
Decent
no,
guess.
no.
Decent guess. Kenneth Murray Jr.
Okay, I know. I was just looking at the round eyes. I could not figure that out. It
No,
looked
that
familiar,
that
but
would have impressed me.
Guy's face I know too much, in the league. This is a picture.
Same situation with this player. Another new player to the team.
If
Not
you're
a
the
rookie.
same age as this player and maybe coach, then you remember these mall photos right here. When-
I
This one's
don't
awesome
know
with the
who
paint.
that
Yeah,
is.
this is classic.
yes.
This is Miles Sanders.
You had just-
Oh my gosh!
there he is.
Dang it! Round
Okay.
eyes.
This is a tough one.
gosh.
Another small photo.
Okay, I'm gonna go off a guess here, but I don't think it's right.
Gonna get it.
Tyler Guyton.
What?
What? Oh, he looks like Aiden. Duh. Looks
He does
just
look like
like
Aiden.
Aiden.
He does when you recognize it's Trevon.
He
it's like
looks
little
just
Aiden.
like Aiden. Yeah. I'm so sorry, Diggs. If you ever watch this, please forgive me.
We should have brought a photo of Aiden just to trick you.
Wow, that picture is not a dead giveaway. If you don't know what Cooper Beebe looks like, then
Wow, she's all over it.
Yeah, that just
It's like
seems
his father.
that is him. Like his face has not changed. It's gotten
So
older, but it doesn't change.
It's so funny. I told Coach that too. I was like, I don't think he's just growing around his face. He looks the
Yeah.
exact same. He still got the
Yeah.
same baby face.
I can't tell what he's graduating from. Coach mentioned it, it kind of looks like he's in a church. Maybe this is like a 5th grade graduation. Maybe he's graduating from some kind of church
We
school.
do kindergarten graduation here.
No, again, these guys are huge, man. He's 6 months old right here. No, I'm
Oh
kidding.
my god.
Listen,
this time
and-
I don't believe you.
And this reminds me, everything else had to come from scouring the internet. These, thanks to Papa, came from the personal vault. That's why they're much better photos. So we had to go ahead and give you a second one just because we have it. This is another.
Look at this guy.
That's another Cooper
56.
BB. A 56. Look, I didn't even notice. Wearing 56.
Sam noticed right away. Awesome. Yeah. So winning awards, playing
With two trophies that I wish we could zoom in on. One of them should say, offensive lineman of the tournament, and the other one says we won
Something.
We won.
it. I'm just guessing now.
Yeah.
It says I'm MVP. My running backs love me.
All right. No, that was. I hope y'all have fun with that one though. Hey, we gotta blow the whistle.
No, that was super fun. That was
Already halftime?
Man.
Oh, hey, we're like I said, we're over.
We got to get it halftime. Get your drinks, get your refreshments, and fan responsibly. That way, you're always tuned in to what the Star We Are is doing. Because when you're with the Star We Are, you're gonna get to good Cowboys content. You're gonna get some fun jokes, you're gonna get some laughter. You're gonna get the way that you fan responsibly is by showing your fan. And that's what we do all day, every day, and especially on Thursdays at 6 p.m. So tune right in. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you hit all the like, subscribe, notification bells, do all the right things. Follow the Star We Are on all your socials. Check out our YouTube channel. Go drop some likes. Thank you so much for supporting us. What we do for charity, what we're able to do for fans, by fans, to give back to the fan community who can do for themselves and let them and help them enjoy the team that we love and we enjoy, right? That's what we're about. That's what we do. It's the Star We Are. That is your halftime announcement with your man, Jimmy Day. We are back, and we've got a good segment coming up. And shout out, like Landry said, shout out to Papa BB for the good quality photo. And speaking of parents, with no foreshadowing intended, we've got to move right along into our next segment, Coach. And if you've got that transition ready, we are good to go with a brand new. Are we coaching the fans here? Is that what we're doing next? Yeah, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God! I pray I get my time to shine.
I believe we had it flipped on the timeline on the game plan earlier, but this is what you're leading into, and I'm ready for it after those youth pictures. I just feel like it's a good time.
It is. So obviously we've got set up here some Oklahoma drill, and I love the still frame of the way this video is starting, because I already let you know. Here we go. It goes down. I always like watching these to find out did the parents parent responsibly here, right? We like to fan responsibly, and we coach the fans up. Today we're going to see if these parents parented responsibly by putting the smack down on these kids. All right, to parent right, you got to put the smack down. So let's see what they did here. Let's take a look at some of this.
All right, first up, this is mom. No problem taking him down. That's mom having no issue taking him down. Put the shoulder into it. Dad might be worse. Wow.
Oh, that kid's got a concussion.
That was aggressive. No, I want to throw it out there right now. 5 and under. I'm really not sure that this is 5 and under, because I don't know about tackle football at 5. I think there's 7.
Yeah.
Two-handed drives through him.
Look, he wants no part of it. He's not getting away though.
He's still getting pushed to the ground. It's like a rite of passage right here.
Oh,
yeah, that was a mom who couldn't do it.
Look, good
he
lesson.
ain't stopping. He's like, good luck.
You don't give up. Do what you got to do.
Face mask.
There's a face mask. Another miss. Eat it. It's fun. Never stop. Don't let up on these children.
Oh.
And then here we go. Got a dad who
just
made a more routine one.
Now stop right here. Okay.
Now what is this?
Okay. Somebody just got tackled over there on the sideline. Do y'all see anything strange back there in the back? I know it's not necessarily the best picture, but is there anything crazy going on in the back? It's kind of normal, right? So Landry, go ahead and run this film a little bit. and something's just going to appear out of nowhere. What is it? Oh, it's a parent.
Oh,
What is going on? Was
Someone's
something
in
hey,
trouble.
look at the no. Someone tackled her kid. So now you can see from this footage where she come from. Oh,
Right there. Yep.
You see, somebody tried to tackle her
oh,
kid too hard. She come running.
I wasn't. I wasn't ready for that. I thought there might have been more to that chase down. I thought there was a part 2 to that chase down.
We can't show it on.
No,
on live.
but
We
what
can't.
is this drill? What's this drill that's going on here, Coach? I don't even
So
understand
this is parents versus players again. This is Samantha's versus their boys, right? This is moms tackling their kids and seeing what kind of
Okay.
hat they can put on them. Bow. So Sam, you can kind of rate these hits from 1 to 10 if you want to.
Alright.
Let's see. Oh, decent.
Solid 6, yeah.
Mom has a little something on it. She tried to
8,
wrap up.
yeah, she got the little hop in there. 5, 6, yeah, she got him.
Oh, she got speed.
10, 9, 9.
That's pretty good.
She's a little scared. I'd give a 7.
Yeah, I like.
5 because he fell.
Okay, well, I had to pause that one. It looked like he gave kind of sold it, like he would in wrestling. He
Then
did that
I'd give
first
him a
round.
3. Yeah.
Yeah, he was already in the rest in peace motion.
Bam,
Another cell.
5, yeah.
Oh, a double team.
Yeah.
It took 2 to take him down.
Ooh, yeah.
He sold it good.
Oh.
2, 1.
Failed.
How come he was determined? Like the whole time he saw other people doing it, he was like, when my mom runs up, I'm just gonna just shoulder her off. And be like, what you talking about?
And then he throws himself on the mat to make her feel better. Oh, and
that was like a 9.5.
Yeah,
that's the best one.
I wish we had a better angle of that one.
You know, I can't wait for that day. Oh. Because Everett's he's 3.5 and half my size. So by that time, oh, buddy, it's on.
You ready to give him the smackdown already?
Yeah.
So just in case parents out there aren't on the same boat with you, Sam, and aren't ready to give their kids a smackdown, we got some mascots in the world who are. Okay, and so parents can take some lessons. This is how you do it. You playing some youth at football? Show them who's boss. You no hold on.
And the pickup and the extra. First of all, that's 2 penalties, like ejectable penalties, and the double. Good lord! Is this
Go Bucky? Oh.
Bucky. Oh, you hit him with the exorcist celebration with the head spin.
Look at how hard they're trying.
And listen, it looks like someone told them, like, listen, don't treat them like they're 8th graders. Like, be ruthless.
Not the piggy.
He almost had a corner. Nah.
That's the funniest looking mascot.
That was Pucky, apparently.
Look,
is that a jaguar?
It is. Just doing jaguar things, outrunning everybody.
Holy cow.
I love it.
Clean up.
We so good now.
Okay,
but cats can't fly. Well,
that's true. The lead lockdown.
Sniff that out for sure.
Nah, where you going, buddy?
Can't even let him score. Has to have the chase down at the 2. Can't even allow a score. Hey, look at the balance and agility inside the big helmet. That's got to be tough.
Hey, that's Yosemite Sam, right?
And then, of course, they're having fun because that's what it's all about. It's all about having some fun.
That's cool, the Colts. Yeah.
So good. That's how you fan responsibly. That's how you parent responsibly. When you get a chance to show your kid how it's done and to put it on the line and to line up against them, you don't take it easy. You don't patty cake it.
Okay.
Revenge.
I think I take it a little bit easier than a couple of those. Like I said, a couple of them look like they're the coach of the team, and so they're even more into it. And but come on now, they lit them up too. 2 of them look like they took a hit that I don't know.
They did.
So
this episode back, the second kid who got popped in the first video, I think he got a concussion. Sorry, Sam. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, maybe. Well, I was just gonna say maybe it's just because I'm little, but I am not gonna hold back. He has a helmet, he has pads, and he has a big villa behind him. He is getting bodied by mom. Like, I'm gonna give it my all, as long as he's okay, of course. But yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Look, I've got some daughters. If they say they want to play football, I'm gonna put some pads on, and They're getting it. All right, full on.
You gotta get
It's
ready.
no, I'm just kidding. All right, so that's fun. So obviously that's coaching the fans. Is that the show?
No. We still have pieces
We
of the
have
puzzle.
I'm joking.
Are you why?
How could you forget? You're trying to miss the last piece to our puzzle?
Oh, I like what you did there.
See,
So
there you go.
without
That's
further ado, the piece of the puzzle.
good enough segue for me.
So
Oh,
it's
What we
just
do?
Robert.
I can go first, Sam. If
It
No,
don't
no,
matter.
no. But that's just what happens to be here. I felt like we kind of decided what we could do is take this. Basically, each of us picked a player who is a non-vet, who's someone who has shown some things for the team, but could be an integral piece in, moving the team forward. Let's say not even just back into the playoffs, but deeper in it. So
yeah,
we can start with any of them.
It don't matter to me. I don't
This was
care.
this
yeah,
was
this
Sam's
is the
choice of
piece of
Jalen
the
Tolbert.
puzzle. And so Sam, walk us through why Jalen Tolbert is the piece of the puzzle to helping this team become just that much better.
Okay, so I like how you said just that much better because we're already good. George Pickens helped a ton take some pressure off Jalen Tolbert, and I hope
Yes.
he uses the opportunities he's given to improve. Last year, when all went down and he was supposed to be looked at as wide receiver two, yes, I was like, nah. A lot of people were like, he's gonna do it. This is his time to shine. I don't think so. I very shortly was down on that idea. Just because, I always think back, the one play of his that sticks in my head is the Steelers one. Now, I feel like he did good there. He came in clutch when we really needed him, and I will forever be thankful for that. But that's one time of how many, the consistency isn't always there. And while them amazing catches are always nice to have, we got to have all the other catches too.
A lot of penalties. A lot of penalties as a rookie. He's very George Pickens like in his skill set,
I hope he helps him.
but he
too.
hasn't shown. I mean, now the athleticism is on another level with Pickens, but it's that being a pro thing you talk about. I feel like that's all he's got to do. It seems like and again, not that I'm seeing his work ethic every single day, but there's always room for improvement, right?
And Sam makes a great point here because he was in a position where he was battling for wide receiver too. Now he's comfortable knowing I can fight for three, probably get it. You know what I mean? It takes a little bit of load off of him. He can kind of be a little more free about that. And maybe when looking at those numbers, 73 catches, 890 yards, 9 touchdowns for his 3-year career, put together 70% of that on a single season as our third string wide receiver. And that probably means that our offense was really, really good. So I like.
Give me 650 and 6 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm. Right. So no, I like it. That's huge. He's 73% complete according to Sam. He just needs another about 27% improvement at that wide receiver 3 spot, and he will be 100%
consistency being a big part of it. Yeah,
and we can put him into this puzzle.
100% of what if players truly have a ceiling, that's kind of where we're coming from there,
and kind of what we would like him to be too. So.
My pick was Mozzie Smith.
Fair.
It is
fair.
It's very borderline. I mean, everybody who's watching online right now is saying the same thing because at this point it's a very borderline bust. This would be your make or break year on even continuing to stay on the team. No, this is only his third year, I guess. So I was thinking, that we might have that option. They could cut him. Going into if they run out of room, but I don't think they're going to run out of room at the DT position. That's the thing. We're not deep enough. Therefore, Mozzie Smith has got to have not just his best season, but that third year really figure it out thing that they talk about certain positions in the NFL, like wide receiver and defensive tackle. What's that? Where's my grade at over there? 34.8 PFF grade. That's a 34.8 PFF grade for the year last year. He was 29 or something, 29 point something, literally next to last, 160 of 162 defensive tackles through 8 or 9 games. In the last 6 games, he does average a grade of 55, 60, something like I would like to see him basically do that. What he did in the last half of last year, just do that consistently would be a good thing. What we need from him is something reliable to stop the run because it's obviously been beating us to death, specifically in the playoffs. And coach can go ahead and tell me how it's even worse because the few good stats I mentioned, Marcy Smith did against the bad teams, right?
Well, he just did against the weaker half of our schedule, right? Which we had kind of talked about going into that season, that the back half of our schedule was winnable. We didn't have a quarterback going into, or a starting quarterback. Sorry, Cooper Rush. We didn't have a starting quarterback going into that back half. It definitely didn't help. You know, that we kind of dumbed down the game plan. We weren't really a team that people feared, knowing that we were kind of one dimensional. Obviously, we had injuries all over the place, and Micah, other defensive ends, so on and so forth like that. So when Mozzie was out there, he may have been limited to he may have been getting more double teams than he's seen just because so many other injuries on the defense. I'm not sure, but you're right, coach. That he's got to when
He's
like you said, 1 year abysmal, first year abysmal, second year slightly better, third year has to be
Phenomenal.
markedly better.
Yeah.
Markedly better. And the other thing is, get, I don't watch a ton of, I definitely watch games, big chunks of games again, but never multiple time or say with the cartel footage like Foch talks about to really zero in on a player. But the times where I do just decide I need to see Mozzie Smith on this play. The grade seems to stick. I mean, I see him going backwards. And it's hard to believe for someone who came in with this idea that we're right off the bat, I'm the strongest guy that's out here, so that should give me a leg up, and it just hasn't. So.
And some of it might be the work ethic thing. There was a little bit of talk about laziness coming out, and I'm not saying this. I'm just saying what the whisperings were, and then
Remember that.
we kind of seen at camp. A couple coaches kind of getting on to him about you're not going to give up on this rep. We're not, quit walking, things like that, jog, making them run an extra lap, and
extra running after practice for sure.
And then we had Marshawn Nealon on the show, and you hear him talk about and I'm not putting Mozzie in a category at all. I'm not doing that. I'm just mentioning that Marshawn talks about some guys coming in and getting a little money, getting some M's. When you're a first round draft pick, you probably got some M's.
First round draft pick, got it.
And then you don't really just want it as much. You're like, man, yeah, I really liked football, but now that I'm paid, some other stuff is more important.
That's annoying.
Here's my number.
Yeah, 51%
Nice.
complete. That's you're not
I'm
wrong.
surprised he's even over half.
Yeah, I was just.
You know what? Hopefully that's true. Hopefully he's supposed to be at 30 when he isn't anywhere near the potential that he's got and where the value where he was drafted. So we can only hope. Okay, then coach.
It's a strong word.
Yeah.
Hope. Well, I'm gonna need the big left hope over there on the left side of the offensive line. I'm gonna need him to get a little bit better. 17 holding penalties. It's a lot. It's a lot of holding. That's how many Micah accumulates and doesn't get called in 4 weeks.
I like what you did there.
No, but honestly, Tyler got listen, I understand. We've seen left tackle struggles. We've seen Hall of Fame left tackles. Go back and look at their first season struggles. It's a hard position. You've got some of the most elite pass rushers coming at you. You've got double stunts coming at you. It's a hard game, and everybody knows the trenches is tough. Left tackle is the premier paid position because it's the hardest one. It's the most important one. You get thrown in and you get asked to replace a first ballot Hall of Famer in Tyron Smith immediately. Hey, rookie, do what he was doing for us. Well, nobody's going to expect that. But we didn't expect 17 penalties. We didn't expect Asim Richards to replace you 1 week because the coaching staff thought Tyler's kind of been struggling so much. Maybe just chance this game. So
yikes.
Definitely in year 2, you can't get benched again. You definitely can't get moved away for another guy. So that's an obvious improvement that has to happen. However, when looking at the film, when looking at what he did well, and looking at taking the whole, pie and looking at it, all the pieces and putting it back together, it wasn't that bad. He's not that
good.
Bad.
No.
He's a solid player. Also, looking at his body, I'm not doing that. I'm just saying when you look at the man's body, he's toned it up this year. He really has.
Right. Yeah.
If we had those photos, yeah.
There's some pictures you can go look at, even in the NFL Combine and stuff. You can see his shirt, and you can see a little bit of what Jimmy's got going on up under the shirts, right? He doesn't have that no more. The man he turned it to a tank. That's going to help. We all seen Tyron Smith was a tank. He's been
tank.
Nobody's going to take his job. The improvement there, he is my key to the puzzle. And I think he is about 67, 60. What did I have in that, coach?
65.
65% complete.
I like that.
I need him to be 85. I just need him to 20% improvement, be 85% complete for us this year. And that's going to be a huge piece to this puzzle.
Well, I'll tell you what he's going to need is to be enough of an improvement to stop us from drafting a left tackle in the first 2 rounds next year.
Yeah. See, and I'm hoping
that would be enough of an improvement.
I'm hoping with him, the way, he really wanted to be a Cowboy, the way he really wanted to be there, that he's not going to pull a Mozzie and be like, well, I got paid, let me out of here. He's like, no, I'm a Dallas Cowboy. Let me work on this. And I feel like I'm hoping that's exactly what's going on, and we'll see a big improvement, because I want that from him so bad. Like, more than I care. I know I want Mozzie, position-wise to do better, but I don't care for Mozzie to do better for Mozzie. I just want it better for the team. Like,
we need that DT
but
position.
Tyler, I want it for him, yeah.
And I'll tell you what, we got the staff, Dryden Schottenheimer, Connor Riley from Kansas State, ask Cooper Beebe about him, Clayton Adams. We got these offensive line coaches, and these coaches who this offensive line is going to be the key to this team's success this year. And if you don't want it and you're not competing, we've already heard, and we'll move on to the next segment. I know we're running a little long here, but we just heard, Schottenheimer's been mixing up the offensive line. He's moved Tyler Smith around. He's moved Cooper Beebe around even. He's moving everybody around. He's competing. So don't think you're going to take the lazy route and be this team's left tackle. It's not. You got to show it. They want it. But I believe he's going to do it. And I think we did a good job there, guys. And this will be my last piece on this one, because these 3 pieces, if Mozzie Smith does improve and become that run stuffer, if Tyler Guyton is a middle of the pack left tackle for us, and Jalen Tolbert becomes a legitimate wide receiver 3 that can rely on in situations when our 2 outside guys are getting bracketed and stuff, this team has got some potential.
Right, because those 3 things are on this list because we expect George Pickens to make that kind of difference as wide receiver 2. The O-line as a whole, with the addition of Tyler Booker to be, we expect, we're saying those are going to improve.
Right.
If these do also, yeah, you're right. We're starting to get warm. We're starting to warm up now. I can feel June and then July coming.
Literally, getting hotter.
All right.
Man, it's been cold here. That's why I'm in a sweater. It's been cold and rainy all summer pretty much.
Well, send some of that our way. And speaking of sending something our way, we'll send something your guys' way. Quick little Star Wars updates, and we'll wrap it up kind of quick. We'll run through these segments. Who am I doing the 2-minute spiel, Sam? Or
yeah, because remember, what is this?
Sure
what is this, Jimmy?
That means you're good to go on 2-minute spiel. No, I'm just kidding. So, but
I see what you did there.
Quick updates before I have to give the 2-minute spiel and we get out of here. Not too many.
No, we're still on Thursday. Fully committed now. Moved to Thursday.
Yep, it's Thursdays at 6 p.m. Check us out on Twitter, all your socials. Make sure you're watching out for the raffles and any charity work we do so you can get involved and give back. We're #TeamGiveBack. Cowboys Cave Week 4. We may start up a little Star Wars fantasy football thing for charity and see if some people want to get in and just play for a little money. Obviously, nobody wins. A charity wins because that's cool, and it won't be worth much, but it'll just be a little something. Raise a few $100 for charity and do something cool like that. Maybe buy
anybody not tuned in, anybody tuned in not subscribed. One more chance right now. Need to subscribe as we put a lot of work into the show every week.
Definitely,
really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Takes a lot of hours, takes a lot of time, takes commitment. And with that being said, I will go ahead and give you guys the 2-minute spiel so we can get up out of here.
Where's that clock?
Oh my gosh. Here we go. 2 minutes.
Jim. Okay, there we go.
Can you hear me now? Okay. So
yeah.
We told you who we were. We're the Star We Are. We fan responsibly. We're Team Get Back. We're the best Cowboys fans there are. No, I don't know. I'm just kidding. But stick with us. Hang around with us. I'm glad you did today. If you didn't and you're just catching the end of it, tune back in every Thursday at 6 p.m. we started off with looking at the mountain of youth. 26 years and under, we got a lot of players on this team with some youth guys. We're one of the youngest football teams in the league right now. That's a good thing. Who ranked where? Go back and find out. It's Micah's mountain, but who lined up everywhere else, okay? Then we took a look at some younger players, right? We took a look at some young guys, some little kiddos, some funny pictures, some cute pictures back, from diapers to Dallas, from where they were as toddlers to where they are now as tackles. And so it was fun to go back and look at that. Always good. It's been a youth segment. And so we rolled right into halftime after that, where we got some refreshments. We reminded you to fan responsibly. We reminded you to like, subscribe, turn on the notifications, follow us on all your socials. And then, I believe if I got this order right, let me just, before I run out of time in this 2-minute spiel, make sure I'm not messing it up here. And then after some little Cowboys, after halftime, we checked the pieces of the puzzle. We had to really lock in and decide, or let's see. Yeah, okay, I'm not missing nothing. Sorry, guys. I'm a little ahead of myself anyway. We had to check the pieces of the puzzle and make sure that what we needed to happen this year was going to happen. And who are those players? Sam said it's Jalen Tolbert. Coach says it's Miles Smith. I say it's Tyler Guyton. Coach also said some updates that you need to check out every Thursday at 6 p.m. We just moved the show. I don't know about any more updates, but that's your 2-minute spiel. Sorry if it was a mess, if it was all over the place, because that's what I am today is a mess. That's what these Cowboys were last year is a mess, but not anymore. And that's your 2-minute spiel with Jimmy J. That is your show for today.
Well, I think we tripped you up with switching the coaching the fans is what happened. We missed coaching the fans in the 2-minute spill, but I'm sure everybody's going to remember it. And I'm already this is yeah.
I'm gonna do this every week until it's true. By the way,
I can tell that that's happening every week, and I'm loving it since it started. Even more, we've been loving the intro that used to be our favorite part of the show. This is my new favorite. Right at the end, it just slides up into frame.
Got you. I keep it ready. Like while Jimmy was getting the 2-minute spill, I was getting it out. It's gonna stay there until it's true.
Well, and it's going to happen. So that part will happen. What's not going to happen again is I won't mess up the 2-minute spiel. I forgot I left out Coach.
Oh, no mess up. I just tripped you up by switching the order in the middle of the show.
Woo!
The kid inside me has returned today with this youth episode, so I'm all over the place.
All right, good times, guys.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to get out of here. So the little one, Hartley, came in, blessed us with a nice intro, and reminded us to do what Sam's about to remind you to do before we get out of here. You have to
always, please, for the sake of everything, fan responsibly.
I'm a fan of the star we are.
What's up, everybody? I'm Super Cowboy.
And I'm Princess Angie, and you are tuned in to the Star We Are.
Hi, this is James Slater, and you are listening to The Star We Are.
Plugged in and switched on. This is the Star We Are live.